Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, defending a theory I don't believe in. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So, why would I defend a theory I don't believe in? Well, I think the main reason would be to keep an open mind as we continue to navigate the market cycle. Now, remember, you guys know my thinking on Bitcoin is that this cycle will take longer than the last one. Okay, that is my thinking, and I will continue to think that until proven otherwise. Now, believe me, if Bitcoin does put in a market cycle peak at the end of 2021, and it really is as simple as buying Bitcoin the year before the halving every single cycle, I will be happy because this is going to be super easy for us to navigate. You just basically buy it the year before the halving and you wait for your inevitable 100x move to come. But all kidding aside, the reason why I want to defend it is not because I think it will play out, but to appeal to people who still believe that it's going to play out and to show you why you could be right, even though I don't think you will be right. Okay, so let me do that. So this is where we currently are. Okay, these are the prior 3 cycles as measured from the market cycle bottom. And I've always contended that we were ahead of schedule, okay? That we were ahead of schedule. This was cycle 1, this was cycle 2. So cycle 1, cycle 2, and cycle 3. And what we notice is that returns diminish and lengthen each time as measured from the bottom. Now, you might argue, well, you should measure it from the halving. We just put out a video a day ago about that. So go check out that video. We actually measured it three different ways. But before the lengthening cycle theory goes and toots its own horn for a while, let's keep an open mind. Let's keep an open mind. And while I will still contend that it's more likely to lengthen than not, we also have to recognize that we saw a pretty big dip this time last cycle. And so the price of Bitcoin, if you normalize it from the wick, the price of Bitcoin could stay at 37K for another month and still not be that far off from the prior cycle. Okay, it still could not be that far off from the prior cycle. So I think before we necessarily, sound the siren and say, all right, lengthening cycles will stand the test of time, we need to keep an open mind and say, well, while it seems more likely than not that lengthening cycle theory plays out like we speculated for a while it seems more likely than not, hey, there still is a chance, right? We still have a chance to keep pace with the last cycle, even though I don't think it's going to happen. We still have a chance to keep pace because if you measured it from the cycle bottom, we could go to 31K or something, 32K by the middle of June, and still be on schedule, because after that move in the middle of June, Bitcoin had a pretty steep recovery, and by July it would have been trading at 78K if you shifted it to today's prices. Okay, and then by August it would have been trading at 85K. Now it's already May. June, July, August, September. I know there's a lot of people that think the peak's in September. I know a lot of people think the peak's in December. And so, whichever one of those you go by, whether you think it's in Q3 or Q4, we'll always say, hey, there's a chance you're right? There's a chance you're right. And if you are right, of course, I'll put my dignity aside and say, all right, guys, it looks like we're peaking in 2021, not later than 2021. So we need to keep a close eye on this, a close eye. Look, there's a lot of different models out there, and it's easy for us to get into these like camps of which one is right or whatever. We all generally want Bitcoin to go up. We're sort of all playing for the home team, and we want to see Bitcoin do well. So I would say we look at this model and we say, yeah, I mean, it's possible that we go to that 300K by the end of the year. Is it likely? Probably not. I don't think so. But what we're going to do is we're going to keep a very open mind. We're going to keep a very open mind, and and look to see if we are able to push higher like we would need to in the coming months to keep pace with the 4-year cycle, or if in fact we consolidate for a while and maybe spend some time in this territory. Because if we spend even a few months in this territory, it would be hard for us to go to these really high projections on some models like within only a couple months or something. Like imagine we spend like 2 or 3 months at, like, let's say if 3 months from now we're still trading below 50K, then it makes the idea of a 300K Bitcoin by December a lot less likely, right? It makes it a lot less likely for that to play out if Bitcoin just sort of consolidates for a while. Now, I will be happy either way at this point, because a correction like this, can allow bulls, like it can allow Bitcoin bulls to reclaim any profits they may have taken. And we don't know how low the correction will take us, whether this is the bottom or if it will continue to come down. Maybe not that far, but if it, maybe if it continues to come down, it would only sweeten the deal. So for me, at this point in Bitcoin cycle, I still agree. I still think that the lengthening cycle theory will play out, but I wouldn't bet the family farm on it, right? I wouldn't bet the family farm on it, and we're going to keep an open mind as we continue to navigate this year to see if we do push to well above to well into the 6-figure milestone by the end of the year. We still have a long ways to go. Okay, so there's still plenty of time for lengthening cycle theory to be proven wrong. Again, I don't think it will be, but there's plenty of time for it to happen. So let's keep an open mind. We'll continue to watch this cycle, and let's say in a few months, if we're still trading over here, we can probably say with a little bit more certainty that lengthening cycles are playing out how we always thought they would. If we're trading, at 100K in 3 months or 4 months, then we'll say, okay, here we are, just like other models thought we would be at that price. So let's keep an open mind. We're all on the same team, unless you don't believe in Bitcoin, and then we're not on the same team. But we'll continue to navigate this cycle each and every day. Again, I'm not going to go anywhere, even when things are bearish, even if things go down from here. If we go back to 20K or something, or if we go to 30K again, we just went to 29K not that long ago. So if we go to 30K again or 20K, we'll still be here. We'll still be looking at the macro scale for Bitcoin and remembering that diminishing returns and lengthened cycles so far is what the data suggests to me. But of course, there are other models that interpret things differently. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. If you want to know how I'm navigating these markets, make sure you guys check that out. You can find a link to the sale on the premium list in the description below as well. Check out the merch store if you guys want a t-shirt. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next time. Bye.